Good day also to you, Sir Cedar Agua. So, today I will discuss about the Islamic civilization, the geography, political structure, economic, social structure, and also the philosophy of Islamic civilization. So, before I start, let me read to you the objectives. Um, our objectives is at the end of this lesson, the students will be able to trace up the origin of Islamic civilization. Next is at the end of this lesson, the students will be able to value the importance of discovering Islamic civilization. So, what is civilization? Civilization is ito ang kaunlaran ng isang lipunan. So, ang pagiging Muslim ay hindi lamang pagsamba kay Allah, kundi pati na rin ang ayon sa batas na pinapahayag ng Quran. So, this is the geography of Islamic civilization. So, may mapa din akong ipinakita dito. So, scholars generally agree that Islam began in the 7th century CE, originating in the cities of Mecca and Medina of Saudi Arabia. So, as you can see here in the map, so here in Medina and Mecca and in Arabia is the origin of Islam. So, Muslim rulers took over many lands throughout the Middle East, Asia, and North Africa. So, here in map, you can see the many lands that Muslim took over. So, next is the political structure. So, in the first place, the will of Allah, as revealed in the Prophet, was not precise about the relationship between religious and political authority. During the life of Muhammad, the problem could be ignored since he was generally accepted as both a religious and political leader of Ummah, or should we say Islamic community. Nung namatay si Muhammad ay hindi nila alam kung paano pumili ng ipapalit sa kanya. Kaya the immediate successor ni Muhammad ay tinatawag na caliph. So ito ang itsura ng caliph. So caliph was elected or selected a successor to Muhammad. So they also considered in general terms to be religious leader. So, nung una ay informal ang pagpili ng caliph, pero nung naglaon ay ipinamana ito sa Umayyad clan. So, their political system where religious and politics are one and the same is in Islam. They are noted. So, next is we have the economics. So, trading and exporting, they do not only trade, so they also export products. So, in the case of the wealth and of Arabi, they trade goods by both ships. So, here, ships and also camels. So, from West Africa, they trade or came the gold and slaves. And in China also, they trade silk and porcelain. In East Africa, gold, ivory, and rhinoceros. Wow! Next, in South Asia, sandalwood, cotton, wheat, and also sugar. In Iraq, linen and also the precious stone. Last, in Spain, they trade leather and also wines. So, the Arab ships, so here, the example of Arab ship, they called as dough. So, they use it to transport or to travel cargo anywhere. So, here, I put a map here. So this is the trade routes in the medieval Islamic world. So the red line here is the trade routes of the products, the trade, and also they export products here, here in the red line. So next is social structure. So social structure is their social structure. um, Islamic are also egalitarian because they are equal in the eyes of their Allah. So also in Islam, male was dominant in Muslim society, but women did have the right to own and inherit prosperity. And also, in their highest class is the caliph or sultan. Next is army generals, wealthy merchants, wealthy traders. They are the upper class. Next is the craftsmen, soldiers, farmer. They are the ordinary people. And last, the lowest class is the slaves. Um, they have called the polygyny, what called that? The practice of man having more than one wife at the same time. So the Islam practiced um, more than one wife at the same time. So they allowed it. Next is clothes. The clothes of women covering their body, their all body. So that is the clothes for women. Next is we have the culture. So Arab considered the years of remaining Greco culture. So sila ang tagapagmana ng Greco-Roman culture, ang mga Islam. So Greek, Syrian, and Persian scientific and philosophical works were translated into Arabic and eventually found their way back to Europe. So ang Greek, Syrian, and Persian scientific and their philosophical works were translated in Arabic. So that is also their culture. They translate languages. Next is the Arabic also became the international language. So that's their culture. Next is in education. They have established universities and libraries in Cairo, Baghdad, and also the Cordoba and Timbuktu. And also they emphasize on preserving, translating, and advancing Greco-Roman, Egyptian, and also Indian language. So they are emphasizing, they preserve, and also they translate the Greco-Roman, the Egyptian, and also the Indian knowledge. So that is their education. They have also the philosophy. So their philosophy was they preserve achievements of classical civilization. So they preserve, they translate, and also they preserve the all achievements of classical civilization. The IBN Rush, meaning of IBN is son of Rush. What do you call that? Represents the all-over scholar of his time, producing works on variety of subjects from psychology to astronomy, philosophy, and mathematics. Also, the ideas of the great thinker of Islam still influences and inspires scholars in both East and also the West. So that is IBN Rush, son of Rashid. What do you call that? Next is they have also the science. Muslims are Muslim scientists acquired and perfected, oh my god, they perfected Greek mathematics and also natural sciences, astronomy, and also medicine. So, Abu Ali al-Hussein, IBN ABD, Allah IBN Sina, they are the father of medicine in the year 10th century. Si Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi, ang hirap. They are he is a surgery, medicine, and also the father of modern surgery in the year 9th century. Next is Al-Hassan ibn al-Haydam. He is astronomy and also algorithm, algebra, and calculus in the year 965 to 1040. Ang hirap basahin ng kanilang names. Next, and also we have Jabir ibn Hayyan. He is a chemistry and also mathematics in the year 721 to 867. Next is IBN al-Nafis Dameshki. He is the father of anatomy in the year 7th century. Next is Ishaq ibn Ali al-Puhawe. He is the first medical ethics in the book of Islamic medicine in the year 9th century. Next is Abu Rayhan al-Biruni. He is the mathematical geography or the gravity in the year 9th century. Next is Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He is the geography. He wrote the book of the appearance of the earth in the year 8th century. Next is ibn Ishaq al-Kendi. He is the philosophy, physics, optics, medicine, mathematics, and also metallurgy. Ang dami. In the year 9th century. So we have also mathematician. So Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. He is the Persian mathematician and astronomer. Wrote, di ko mabasa, Al-Jabar wa Kabbalah, or the science of restoring and balancing where algebra came from. So, sa kanya nanggaling ang algebra. Next is, this is also the example of his work, the algebra. So, next is, we have the literature. So, first is the Quran, regarded as the greatest literary work. Their Bible, the Quran, the Muslim Bible. Next is Abdul Qasim Ferdowsi Tosi. He is a Persian poet and the author of Shahnameh. Shahnameh or the Book of Kings, one of the world's longest epic poems and the greatest epic of Persian-speaking countries, the Book of Kings. Also, the Rabia Balkhe or Rabia of the Koskan, Rabia al-Kozdari. She is first known female poet to write in Persian. So, he wrote about suffering that love can bring. Wow! It is a love poet. Next is the Omar Khayyam. He is a Persian poet and particularly for the volume of Rabiat. So, this is his work, 1001 Nights, and also the Rabayat. Omar Khayyam. So next is the Sadi. He is considered the Persian Shakespeare and wrote Rose Garden. So this is the Rose Garden. This is his work. Next is Rumi Halal Adin Muhammad Rumi. He is a Sufi mystic poet from Persia and also being described as the most popular poet and the best-selling poet in Islamic civilization. So here is the example of her work. The sun casts light on things, and through the light it is possible to see. The purpose of light is to see. Wow, this is his work. Next is Al-Mash'udi, first great Muslim or Arab historian, wrote Meadows or Gold, which provides for our knowledge of Abbasid dynasty and also referred as the Herodotus of Arabs. So this is his work. It is a book of history in Arabic of the beginning of the world, starting with Adam and Eve up to through the late Abbasid Caliphate. So that is his work. So next is the Sufism, may be described as Islamic mysticism or asceticism. So ito ay ang kanilang pagsamba pagka nagsasayaw sila. Ito ang kanilang paraan para makausap si Allah. They are worshiping Allah. Next is we have Islamic civilization also have art and also the architecture. So this is geometry. So first picture shows the geometry when and also the second picture you can this is the work of geometry. So this is the face of geometry. Next is they have also the calligraphy. Yan. Next is they have also floral patterns. They have architecture. So first Mashrabiyah. This is the picture of Mashrabiyah. So projecting window enclosed with carved wood latticed work. So next is Mirab, semicircular niche in the wall of a mosque that indicates the Qibla which Muslim faced when praying. So it indicates Qibla. So where is Qibla? The Muslim faced it when they are praying. Next is Sun, a courtyard combined with ablution area. So this is a courtyard, and also in this courtyard they have also the kung saan sila naguhugas ng kamay, paa, face bago sila mag-worship kay Allah. Next is the minaret, visual focal point and are used for call to prayer. So sa taas nito they use it to call a prayer. So kapag tumunog na yan, so magpre-pray na sila. Next is the dome, focal point and covering main prayer hall. So dito ang main ng kanilang prayer hall. Next is the Dika, a place of delivering royal message. So dito nagme-message yung kanilang dito sila nag-message, nagbabasa ng Quran dito sa Dika. Next is the Membar, a pulpit where Imam delivered khutbah. So dito meron din ditong pulpit where the Imam delivered khutbah. Next is Mukarnas, stalactite petite vault Persian architecture ornament. So this is muqarnas. Next is the prayer area hall. So this is the main area to perform congregation prayers. So pag madami na sila, congregation, dito sila nag-prepare sa area hall na ito. Next, and also the last, the ark. Structure that spans a space while supporting weight. Ito ang kanilang ark. Next is the courtyard. Fundamental features of mosque, cloistered and arcaded, and the size of punctuated with gateways, prayer chambers, and arcports. Dito ang kanilang courtyard. Next is the kiosks. Used in isolation as a little ornament pavilion, emphasizing a roof or providing a focus in a pleasure garden. Ang ganda na kanilang kiosks. That is their architecture. So, the art of Islam is blend of Arab, Turkish, and also the Persian tradition. So, that is all. Hopefully you understand my discussion and you learn something from it. Thank you and God bless you.